Hello, welcome to our review of Four Roses Straight Kentucky Bourbon Whiskey.
So we're going to go ahead and try it. Jay's never had it. I've tasted it through the years. Here in Louisiana, it's kind of one of them ones that you see it, you get it, because it's kind of hard to find for some reason. I don't know why. All I know is a lot of the older guys drink this stuff and swear by it. We'll go ahead and try it.
Years ago, somebody gave me a vial of the 10-year age special edition.
It's got
It's
a
really
cork.
dynamite. Real cork. Let me see.
Oh, you had this?
I had the small batch.
So you lied to me.
I never had that. I had the
Lied.
small batch.
He lied. Said he never had Four Roses, didn't
I
you?
didn't lie. I just said I didn't have the regular Four Roses.
Because, nope, you didn't say regular. You said I never had Four Roses.
Okay.
That's a
I
lie.
meant the small batch 10-year
You
age.
better go to confession. On Easter, too.
I didn't intentionally lie. Okay, I didn't even lie. It was you didn't understand what I was saying. I like the wooden cap.
Understood 100%.
I like the wooden cap and the cork.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like a,
Now, the
Alright.
distillery has been there since 1880, but I think the Four Roses brand didn't come out till 1953. When it originally came out, I think it was a blended bourbon, blended Kentucky whiskey. But now they have a straight. This is the main one, straight bourbon, and they might still make the blended, but it's not sold in Louisiana. And
I ain't going to
you
talk
said
bad about the company.
you said there's two. I'm not talking about the company. You said there's two other offerings, right?
Yeah, it's a small batch and a single barrel.
And they're different shaped bottles, right?
Right. I had one that was the mid-range. I forget which one it was, the malt. Might have been a small batch.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much. I'm gonna pour
Tastes
some
good.
back. That's a little.
After you drink out of that glass,
I mean, that's a lot of bourbon.
suck it up, princess.
I'm a small frame person.
Yeah, all right. Smells good. You can smell the whiskey.
I want to drink one rose, not four. All right. Well,
Smell the sweet corn.
because it smells like, you know, how you can
You got
eat
that
corn on the
sharp
cob,
smell. Yeah.
but without the salt, of course, no salt. But it's that sweet corn, and if you've never had sweet corn, and who has? Well, of course, everybody's had that. It's got that, yeah, corn grits,
Right.
barrel,
Yeah, you can smell it.
oak barrel, a little vanilla.
It's just that classic area that they sell this stuff in. Now, I'm more partial to the American whiskeys in this region, be it Kentucky or Tennessee region, but it's all in that same area. But they got that limestone
Limestone
that
water, yeah.
adds to the mineralness to it.
Now there's a little honeysuckle in the nose. Like if you go back in about a month over there by those woods, they'll have the honeysuckles with the white blooms, and you know you pull the stem and you get the nectar off of it. It has that
Yeah.
kind of smell. Okay, cheers, folks.
Kind of like the Magnolias too.
Never had that. All right, nice alcohol legs. Kind of a funny little glass here.
Man, that's smooth.
It's smooth, but it's so
Man,
much
that's
corn grits.
Smooth.
It's like
There's a
drinking.
lot of corn whiskey in it.
I mean,
And then you get in the wood and the barrel.
if you don't like yellow corn grits, if you don't like polenta, I would say this: go to Walmart or any other grocery store and get a can of Bush's Golden Hominy. But you have to imagine drinking it or eating it without the salt. You know, there's no salt in this, and you'll understand the texture and the flavor of it. It's so corn oriented. It's corn. Well, I mean, it's corn whiskey. What do you expect it to be? Rice? No.
So there's a lot of other whiskeys coming out of the same region.
Right?
So
Of course.
they use
Corn.
Right, use corn as their base. So
If you go to Thailand, Burma,
They're gonna use rice.
China, Japan, Kampuchea, they're using rice, because why? That's what they grow out there. I would like to try an American-made rice whiskey, though. Hadn't seen that.
What about some of those, they're called American whiskeys? You ever try any of those? Like that Michener's? Michener's, they got that label of American.
American whiskey. Well, the
whiskey
reason they're
coming
saying
out
that...
of other regions that aren't.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the story behind that is anytime you bottle something, you have to tell where it's from. Okay, so this is saying Kentucky. That means all the whiskey here is from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. But if it says American whiskey, that means it could be sourced from Kentucky, Indiana, Virginia, Tennessee,
Texas.
Missouri.
Texas.
I mean, I don't know. They have distilleries in Texas that make whiskey.
They do have facilities
So-
in Texas.
Yeah, but they're not mass production that would bring in that. But that's what that means. American, and if you see American wine, American red wine, it's just from one of the 50 states. So it's a more widespread appellation. So that's the reason.
From the Appalachians?
No, Appalachian.
Oh,
That means where it's coming from. Like it might say Sonoma wine or New York wine. That means the region it's from.
okay. I have been schooled.
The Appalachian, not the Appalachian Mountains. And it's
I like
probably
Appalachian.
Appalachian, not Appalachian. This is really nice, but I don't know if it's really more remarkable than other bourbon whiskeys, which are corn whiskeys. It's enjoyable. What's about $23 a bottle, something like that?
Yeah.
It seems to fit that price range. I think the Jack Daniels has a little bit more char because of the maple charcoal filtering thing.
This one to me has got the corn sweetness in it, the vanilla I'm getting out of it, honeysuckle. It's just an enjoyable drinking whiskey.
I agree with that. It's very nice.
It's very nice. It's sweet. It's kind of got a slight honey finish to it.
I think at the 20
There's a little vanilla in it.
vanilla,
Yeah.
little nectar, a little dried.
Yeah.
You
It's
ever,
almost like it's something you expect from a spring flower in a whiskey.
yeah, that's what I was talking about, the honeysuckle. You ever been to the store and they have the dried fruitcake fruit in those Mylar bags? They have like cherries or whatever kind of fruit they put in fruitcake. It kind of tastes like those dried, freeze-dried fruits. I think for $23 a bottle, it's like a lot of other $23 a bottle Kentucky Straight Bourbon. It's kind of like mass-produced beer. It's kind of hard to differentiate them because they're all kind of like the same. And then you get mass-produced bourbon. They tend to have way more in common than different. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you get some that are not quite up to snuff, and you can kind of detect those. Like,
Well, whiskey is whiskey. Wine goes all over the place, and so does beer. So whiskey, when you narrow it down to whiskey, you narrow it down to regions. That's why I was asking about the American whiskey. What's that all about? But
Yeah,
then you
right.
explained it could be from other regions. The good thing about Kentucky or Tennessee whiskey, you know that it's going to taste like that region is
because of
put
the
down.
water, yeah. The
Because of
limestone.
water or limestone. In some instances, some of the companies use charcoal filtering, like you had mentioned about Jack Daniels.
Yeah, chocolate
And
mellow.
Jim Beam had used it at one time.
For the Jim Beam
Yeah,
choice.
but this one just tastes like a honey whiskey to me.
It's very
Like a
honey oriented.
straight honey, like honeysuckle. Really,
You ever tried the Louisiana whiskeys that are not made with limestone water?
nah. And they made with swamp water.
I mean,
Wow.
you said it on camera. And anyway,
I stick to the tried and true, and I'd be your Tennessee or
Kentucky.
Kentucky region, that area. Scotch, I'm gonna go Scotland. Ireland,
That would
I've
make
tried the Japanese.
That would make sense.
I got a problem with the Japanese scotches.
Oh boy, you should have heard these discussions off air, like getting very volatile.
Because it's not volatile. I'm just saying that's a rice base, which has more of a sugar base in it, which produces a headache version. It's almost like when somebody drinks a daiquiri.
I didn't get a headache. All right, but you
Well,
were.
you're Superman.
I'm Superman. All right,
Kryptonite.
Ubermensch. It's very pleasant. I like it. It seems like it's about a 4-year age. I don't know what the age is, but it's at least 4 years. It seems like about 4 years. I'm very pleased. If I went to Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, which I've been to, but if I went there and I would take a distillery tour, and I think I would like it. When I went there 3 years ago, they said that the distillery was under construction. They were doing renovations, so they said if you came to tour, you wouldn't be able to see much. So I was like, well, I'm not going to waste time going there and not seeing anything. But if I went back, I mean, I would check it out. You know, it's about $10 to tour it. I could mention that the Buffalo Trace was free, but anyway, with free samples. But anyway, so I would score it.
Don't be scared.
It's very pleasant. I wouldn't say it's remarkable, though. It just tastes like regular old bourbon, which is not a bad thing. It does taste like it has about 4 years age on it. The viewers probably know better than me. I think in that respect, it does seem to live up to its price point, and I would go with about a 93 out of 100. Most excellent.
Right. I'm going to give it about a 90 because it's missing some of the aspects that I expect to have in it. It doesn't have enough char in it to me. I do like the sweetness in it. It's very smooth and mellow. I'd like him to step it up a notch, maybe make it a little better, and not put all the really good characteristics in the single barrel or the other versions where you got to pay twice as much. When basically, to me, they all taste relatively the same.
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't say that on camera, because you were saying off camera that you found that the 3 levels tasted pretty much the same. That's kind of a scary comment to make. You got this.
I don't know why it's scary to make. It's just my taste buds.
Well, I mean, you're going 23, 46, and then maybe 90 something dollars a bottle.
No. You got 23. The next one's like 32, and the next one beyond that's like 40.
Well, that's not too much money.
No. Even at $40 is something to check into. But then I also believe that whatever they're putting in the top-notch barrel should be in this barrel.
Yeah,
Bottle.
But I think there's a Four Roses that's way more expensive than $40. I think there's one that's well over a good $100 plus. That I think there is. Yeah. But anyway, I could be wrong, but I believe
It's not about the price, it's what you like.
Well, yeah,
Sometimes
I realize that.
Sometimes when you buy something because of price, you get something really well. But sometimes when you buy something at a price and you paid a lot of money for it, you don't get what you want. And you're really disappointed.
Oh, like the Tokai and the other Japanese one.
Yeah, the Japanese ones are just...
He was going crazy off camera. All right, anyway, so I liked him, but anyway, so Laissez Les Bon, of course I didn't buy him either. Laissez Les Bon Temps Relais, we're going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.
Drink good whiskey.